So your goal at the end of the call is to make sure you isolate all the objections and you pretty much make sure like we're gonna do business together. Surprise element. Build a conversation with them and then at the end of it say, well, I know you were looking at a second. Here's the reason why it first makes more sense from everything you told me. This game's about habits and consistency. It's not about doing the right thing on one call, it's doing the right thing on every single call.
Good morning, good morning. It takes a lot to get a good morning going. We're gonna be doing game film. There's about 8 teams there and 8 team leaders. We're gonna do a game film for every single team, one person on every single team. I'm gonna deliver those game films to the leaders so they can meet with their team, play the live game film, and see the behavior happening on the floor. If it's a good call, it's gonna be a prop out, make somebody feel good and play it so others learn. If it's an opportunity call, we're gonna play it with the team so that way we can learn the opportunity and let everybody know the right way to do it. But when you keep engaging your team in phone call recordings, it's gonna change behavior because they know that we're listening to the calls. There's gonna be random calls being played, and that will stop a lot of the bullshit and the negative things happening on the phones automatically once it turns into a habit. So I'm gonna go and listen to a bunch of calls. While I'm listening to the calls, I'm gonna call 2 bottom people to listen with me. You know, I had a leader one time that every single time he'd have a serious talk that was impactful, he'll like call in 2, 3, 4 other people into the room and he'll be like, come and listen to this. And then he'll bring 5 people to talk to one person so they all learn from it. And that's going to be similar where I bring 2 or 3 people to the desk to listen to the calls with me and then pick their brain. What did you think of the call? And then I could be teaching 2, 3 people with me while I'm listening to squeeze the juice and get the most out of the activity. So that's a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. It's about to be an exciting day. We're back in business, boys.
Give some motivational words to people who are not morning people and help them get up in the morning, because I'm not a morning person, but I force myself.
I don't really think anybody out there is a morning person. I think the majority of the world would prefer to sleep in, not have to wake up and go to work in the morning. So as far as preference is concerned, you're not alone. Nobody wants to get up at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, 5 in the morning, go to work. It's just natural. But I will tell you this. The earlier you get up, the earlier you finish. There's nothing that feels better than when you wake up at like 5 a.m., you work out, you read, you knock something out, and then by 8:39 you've already accomplished 4 or 5 things while the average person's still sleeping in bed. Gossip, everybody stop it. Everybody knows I'm a motherfucking monster. I really don't have that much energy at 7 in the morning, but sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it. The more you fake it, it's a perception, and then I start believing the perception. You know, when somebody tells a story, the story gets changed every single time the next person tells it, right? And then if you go like a year, 2 years, 3 years, and like if I'm telling a story that I remember from 3 years ago, and my brother tells the same story, it's different because I start believing my own lies in that story, and it gets altered a little to the way you want to believe that the story was told, the way you want to believe that the story happened. So a lot of times perceptions get altered. That's why if you ever want to know like, oh, somebody said this and it upset me, or why did they say that like that? Like a rule of thumb for you would be, don't take anything personal. Nothing is personal. And if you believe that nothing is personal, and everybody has their own perception, and your perception is unique to yourself, then you're not going to take things personal and you're going to save a lot of time in your life. Sun is shining and so are you. Sun is shining and so are you. Sun is shining and so are you. Can't you tell I got news for you? Sun is shining and so are you. Thank you, my boss. No sunshine when it's storm. You guys got paper and pen? Cool. I want you guys to take notes with me. What do you guys think went well on these calls? What do you guys think the opportunity is? And I just want to talk it over together as a group. While we're waiting for anybody else, let me see if anyone else is coming. Remember the first thing and the last thing. If you ever like read a book, a chapter of a book, your memory is the freshest in the beginning and at the end. Same thing in an experience. You remember how the experience started, you remember how the ending, but the middle's kind of blurry. Your clients are the same exact way. When you talk to your clients, they're going to remember how the phone call started. That's what's going to keep them on. And then how it ends. And then I heard him doing a great job on a phone call, but then ending it not in a great way. Just saying like, all right, talk to your husband, I'll get this together for you. Like, that's not how we end a phone call. You got to end the phone call making them remember it. So listen, we talked about a lot of important things. We talked about number 1, how this cash is so important to you. Number 2, how you really need to save some money. Number 3, how you really want to get that RV.
that's so important to you. And then what did she say? She's like, yeah, there's some people that are rude out there. Brand right there. Yeah, well, I'm not going to be rude. I'm going to take care of this from start to finish. I'm a professional shopper. You don't got to answer any more calls. Store my number and only answer mine. Here's the documents I need you to have ready. Date of birth, social. When I end a call this way and I get to date of birth and social, what do I think? If somebody gives me their date of birth and social, tells me they're not going to answer any other calls, and they're going to be waiting for my appointment, what do I think? Yeah, I think I got a loan. But if I don't end the call that way, how am I going to know if I have a loan? Now, when he asks for date of birth and social, and then she says, no, I'm not going to give you that. I'm like, maybe I don't have a loan. I thought I had a good relationship, but now she's hesitant to give me her information. What do I need to do now? Or when I say other people are going to call you, they're going to say right away, like, yeah, they've been calling me. Perfect, don't answer them. Well, no, I still want to answer them. Okay, now I know I got a shopper. So you draw a lot of objections instead of going in blind. Draw those out at the end of the first call. You know, you got to picture this game like a track with, you know, booby traps on it. And what you're trying to do is remove the booby traps off the track. One of those booby traps might be objections, shopping, whatever it is. So your goal at the end of the call is to make sure you isolate all the objections and you pretty much make sure, like, we're going to do business together on this, right? Me and you are going to do this together, right? As long as I do this for you, we're going to do it together. And he tells me, yeah. I'm like, all right, good, I got a deal. The issue is that one thing of him missing it, the whole rest of the conversation.
Yeah, because the guys like this guy's in the bucket.
Yeah, but so I always tell people every single breath matters, and this is a perfect example of that. We missed one breath, one word the client said, we misunderstood it, we took the whole conversation another trail. Could it have been a loan? I don't know, but out of 5 of these that we miss, could one of them be a loan? I definitely know yes. So that's why active listening is so important. Oh, Savannah, fraud department. This is my favorite one, the fraud department. So we went straight into the fraud department. Instead of saying, while I have you on the phone, here's what I'll tell you. It's a crazy time in the world right now. Rates are moving, values are still pretty high. A lot of Americans are really benefiting from cash out or monthly savings. I won't take more than 2 minutes of your time. Tell me how much you owe on your mortgage. And just try to create a solution right then and there, instead of scaring them about the credit pull. So hopefully that helps you guys with at least knowing what's going on the phone. This game is about habits and consistency. It's not about doing the right thing on one call, it's doing the right thing on every single call, taking the emotion out of it, which I know is easier said than done. And then on Wednesday, in the middle, I'm doing game films. I'm doing 2 for every single team. Now I'm doing 2 for a couple of reasons. One reason is you could know what's going on the phone. Second reason is I'm gonna deliver it to you with the huddle guide and the call clip so you could play it to your team. Now when your team sees Sean Jackson play a call clip 3 weeks in a row, what starts happening? When you just play random call clips once a week with your team and you bring them in a group.
They know they're listening.
They know there's listening, okay? Number 2, the behavior changes. And number 3, everybody learns from each other because there is like power in learning from different people on the floor. So the rules are listen to a call, everybody writes down feedback, you guys go over the positive and the opportunities, you rep it out and you go over action items moving forward. This is gonna kill a lot of bad habits on the floor. If you guys find hang-ups during one of these things and you guys make a rule on your team not to hang up, then everyone knows they can't hang up anymore, right? So you're gonna set a lot of precedents when you do this. As well as prop people out that sound good because there are some good phone calls happening as well. What's the wisdom? We're live. Believe in yourself. Believe, baby. The only reason somebody would be sick of hearing the competitor's name or somebody sick of hearing that somebody's better than them is because they don't want to get better and they don't want to beat that person or they don't believe they could beat that person. They're already in a state of giving up. And that's some weak ass shit that we're just not going to accept or tolerate. Because at Acez Academy, we hold you to your standards of excellence. And I hold myself to the same standard. And if there's another consultant out there and you tell me he's better than me, then I'm going to eat their face. Because nobody gets in the game like me. Nobody's engaged like me. Nobody will grab any phone call anytime and call anybody, any place, anywhere, anytime. Give me the phone number, tell me what's going on. I'll call your client right now. I don't give a because I have confidence and I hold myself to a high standard and I know I'm the best sales coach out there. A shark only moves one direction. What direction does a shark move?
Forward.
Forward, straight. Do they ever turn around? They have an eye on a prize and they move. And they move swiftly and they don't stop moving. You gotta have your target in front of you and you should move just like a shark. Nothing gets in your way. Now what happens if a fish tries to get in a shark's way? Gobble gobble, mother. What happens if there's a boat in a shark's way?
It ignores it.
How?
Goes around it.
It goes either straight through it or under. It jumps right over it. Does it pivot, stop, and turn around?
No.
Okay, don't pivot, stop, or turn around in your own life. Salamat! Broke again. I swear to God.
You're catching it with something that...
Nothing, I'm closing it and opening it.
My God. Okay, let me change it for you. Okay.
Money back guarantee from my man.
Habibi.
Right?
Habibi.
Give us one tip of wisdom, Haj. What's your biggest tip for people trying to start business today?
Today it is very hard to start the business.
So what do you
Economy,
say?
it is very bad.
What do you tell them?
Wait.
That's a negative tip.
Wait till Trump comes.
Wait till Trump comes, baby. That's a commercial. Yellow, we'll see you guys. Don't take off any of my diamonds, Haj. I counted them, huh?